It's Monday night, and I can't wait to play. It's time for Ready, Budget, Game. Welcome back to Ready, Budget, Go. My name is Drew, and on this channel we talk about cash budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Tonight is Monday night, so it's game night. I'm recording this on Saturday because come Monday, I will be in the process of packing up the last of the boxes for my move. So I cannot wait to stop talking about the move. I am ready for it to be over, to be into my new place and settled. And so I look forward to next week, hopefully being in that new place and having a new setup, although it might not look all that much different from what I'm doing here for game night and all of the other videos. But for now, I'm going to get set up for game night for this week. We're going to start with General Greenback, I think, this week. Then we'll do Zodiac, and then we'll get into the games in the binder. So let me get out some cash and get the book ready to go, and I will be right back. All right, I've got the general ready to go. I've got my scratch tool. I've got my dice tower off here to the side for if and when we need it. So I'm going to flip this book open to the last page that we left off at. I think it was toward the back. Let's see here. Yep, we were on the Ponzi Pirate. And so for this one, it is just a color and save, and I've just been crossing these out because I'm not that good at coloring, and because I don't want to, make you sit here and watch me color. So I'm just going to cross one of these out, and we're going to save $10 for each of these. So we'll put 10 to the side. Like I've done the last couple of weeks, I'm going to save $75 in this book, $75 into Zodiac, and then about $100 from the main book. So about $250 total. Might be a little more than that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so that's the Ponzi Pirate taken care of. Now we're going to vibe with the Vault. This is another one of the heroes. So I am going to, let's see, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 left. So I'm going to roll a D8 die. If I have one, yep, I sure do. And we'll see which one it ends up telling us to scratch. Okay, it says number 8. So that's going to be down here at the bottom. We'll scratch here, and we're going to save, looks like $9. Okay, we'll get that cleaned up. Are you a scratch completionist? I used to think that I was, and then once I started doing the books, I realized that I'm just not. I just scratch so I can read it, and then I leave the rest after I clean it up. So $9, so we're going to take a 5 and 2 2s, and we will move on to the next one. This is Overdraft. He is a villain. And so this is a scratch till you match. And so underneath all of these scratches are 2 of each hero and each villain. And so it's $5 every time you scratch. And when you make a match, it's another $10. So I'm just going to pick one at random, and I'm going to scratch over here today. Let's see who we get. So we got Gold Shield over here, and I don't think I've scratched him yet. No, I haven't. So I am just going to scratch a little more off here and then clean it up, and I'll put $5 in. And actually, I'll probably take out the 20. So we'll put away the 10 and the 5, plus the 5 that we just scratched off, and we'll take out a 20. Okay. Next challenge is Prepare for Combat. So this is before the final challenge with Lord Larceny. And so here we are going to roll a d6 die 20 times. We've already rolled it 4 times, but let's see what we get this time. Make sure I'm in view here. Oh, it never wants to come all the way out. But we rolled a 6, so we'll write in a 6. And we will save $6, and I'm going to put the 2 2s back and grab out a 10. Okay, next we have the final battle, and this one I'm just doing in order because there's a lot of scratch-offs here. So I will scratch the next one, and this is going to be $12. Okay, clean up the scratch shavings. 10, 12. We're getting close to that $50. Now, there is one more challenge after this one, but I am saving that for the very end. So I'm just going to go back to the front of the book where we meet the general for the first time. And here there's only 2 left. So I am just going to scratch here up at the top. I'm not going to roll a die or anything like that. And this one is also going to be $12, and it looks like the sticker is coming off. Didn't quite adhere. So $12. And we'll clean up the shavings. Okay, so I'm going to put back the $40 and take out 52. So 52, so we're up to 54, so we've got about $21 more left to save. So next we're going to go on to Meeting Lord Larceny. This is another roll and save, so it's also a D6. So we'll roll it, and this time we got a 4. So I will write in a 4. A lot of 4s on this challenge. And let's see what I can do here. So I can put back a 2 and take a 5 and a 1. Okay. Next challenge is Gold Shield. And so Gold Shield is General Greenback's sort of right-hand man. And there are 6 left. So I'm going to roll a D6 die, and we'll see which one we save. Or which one we scratch, rather. Number 4 again. So that's going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll scratch off the last one in the middle row. And that's going to tell us to save, looks like another $9. Okay. So clean this up. And we'll put back a 1 and grab a 10. Let's see how we're doing here. So we've got 65, 67, so about $8 more. So the next challenge will probably be our last, but let's see. So 7 is the next on the counterfeiter because we're just following the path. So I'm going to cross that out. And let's see here. So we're at 65, 67, so that'll put us at 74. So I am going to do one more. So I'm just going to grab out the $7. And then we'll do one more on the next page. It'll put us a little bit over, but that's okay. This is Penny Protector, and it's another scratch and save. So we've got 6 of them left, so we'll roll the D6 again. And it says number 6, so we'll scratch the last one here at the bottom and hope for a really low number, Penny. Oh dear, it's $12. Well, that's okay. That just means that'll be less money that we have for the book later, but I don't mind. Because for me, it's all going to the same place. All of this is being used for my emergency fund, so wherever it comes from is good for me. All right, so 10 and 12, and I'm going to consolidate this a little bit. Let me put the book away. I will leave this on Miss Fortune. She will be up next for next week. So I'll set this to the side, and let's see how much we've got here. So we've got the 50, and we've got 60, 70, 80, oh dear, 86. All right, so 50, 70, 80, and we'll take a 1 and a 5, and we'll put all of this other nonsense back. Okay, so $86. I will get out the binder here, and I'll put that into General Greenback. And just like I did last week, I will do a consolidation at the end of the video, so if you'd like to stay tuned for that, that will be after I finish the last of the games in here. So this is going in. Close this up, and next up we'll do the Zodiac book, so let me get set up for that, get the cash tray refilled, and then we'll do some scratching and some coloring in the Zodiac book. Okay, so this book is Zodiac, Save with the Stars. This book, along with General Greenback, are Savings Challenge books that I created. Normally they're available in my Etsy shop, but the Etsy shop is closed right now due to the move. I anticipate that it'll be back open again in the middle of March. So once that's reopened, I will announce it here on my channel. But in the meantime, I think all of the listings are still visible. It just says that I'm on vacation. So going into the book, this has all 12 of the Zodiac signs in order according to the Zodiac calendar. So it starts with Aries and it goes all the way through Pisces. So each spread has a number on it. So Aries is the first sign, Taurus is the second sign, Gemini is the third sign, and so on and so on. So what I do is I roll a d12 die to tell me which sign that I'm going to work on, and I also roll a d6 die to tell me which section I'm going to do. So 1 is a scratch, 2 is a D8 roll, 3 is a D12 roll, and then 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, according to the D6. These can be anything that you want them to be. I decided to double my pleasure and put them in as roll and saves. So I roll the dice, or roll the die, say whatever it says, and then color in one of the numbers. I'm not going to be coloring these in all the way just because I'm not very good at it and it takes a while. So in the interest of keeping things moving, I'll just mark them and then I'll come back and do that later. But let's get started. The goal is to put about $75 into this one as well. And if I go over that 75, again, it just comes out of the money that I put into the book at the end. So I've got the tower set up. So, oops, well, kind of. It doesn't fall over on me. So we've got the D6 and we've got the D12. And let's roll and see where we go. Okay, so we're starting with number 9 and number 4. So that's going to be a scratch. And number 9 is going to be Sagittarius. So for the scratch, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. So I'm going to roll this D6 again and see which one it says to scratch. Number 1. So we'll do this one right up here. Okay, so for Sagittarius, we are saving $1 whole. Now, on the scratch and save, on the left-hand side, it's the numbers 1 through 9 exactly once on every page, but they're in random order. So 1 here. So we'll bring back the D12 and the D6, and we'll see where we're going next. So number 7 and number 5. So we'll go back to Libra. And number 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be a D8 roll. And I did not get the pen out, so let me do that here. Just give this a little mark, and I will come in and fill it in later. And then we'll get out the D8, and we'll see how much we're going to save. $2. Okay. So we're not moving terribly swiftly through here because of the low numbers, but that's okay. Gives us more options to, or more opportunities to roll the dice. Okay, so now it's number 5 and number 1, so that's going to be a scratch on Leo. And we've got, let's see, we've got 7 of them left, so I'm going to roll the D8 die and see which one we scratch. Number 1. Okay, so we're going to be up here. And this one is going to save $6. So let me get that cleaned up. And we'll take out $6. And we'll get out the D12 and the D6, and we'll see where we're off to next. You know, I think I'm going to dispense with the tower for now, and I'll just use the tray. Okay, number 10 and number 3. So that's going to be a D12 roll on Capricorn. Capricorn is my birth sign. This is also the first one that we've done for this, so it's terrific. So we're going to roll the D12, and we're going to save $8. So I'm going to put 2 back and grab a 10. And we'll roll the D6 and the D12 and see where we go next. Okay, number 10 and, oops, that was a 10. Honest to goodness, I just moved it. 10 and 1. So we're on Capricorn still. We've got 6 left, so we'll roll the D6 and see which one we scratch. Number 1, so it's going to be up here. And that is going to be $3. So another small number. But they've got to get scratched eventually. So I'm going to put all of this back and grab the 20. There we go. Okay, D6 and D12. Number 2 and number 5. So that is going to be way back to the front for Taurus. And 5 will be a D12 roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, I lied. A D8 roll. Glad I double-checked myself. So let's see what we've got here. And we've got an 8. So finally a big number. So 5, 7, and 8. And I'm just going to make a little mark here. I will know to fill that in later. Okay, back to the D12 and the D6. And where to next? Okay, number 12 and number 1. So that's going to be a scratch on Pisces. And it looks like we've only got 5 of them left. So I'm going to roll the D6, and we'll see where it tells us to go. And number 2. So that's going to be here. And this one is $9. So we got the highest number there for Pisces. So we'll clean that up, put the 1 back, grab a 10, and we will keep on moving. So bring back the D12 and the D6. Okay, number 12 and number 5. So that's going to be a D8 roll. We're already on number 12. Mark that off. Roll that D8. And we're going to save $5. So put this 5 back, grab a 10. And we'll take the D6 and the D12, and we'll see where we are off to next. Okay, number 8 and number 2. So number 8, we are back on Scorpio, or actually I don't think we've done Scorpio yet this time. So we'll take these out, we'll roll that D8. $7, so 5, 7. And we'll make a mark here. Okay. Back to the D12 and the D6. Number 10 and 1. So Capricorn. And it's going to be a scratch. And there's 5 of them left, so I'll roll a D6. And of course we get number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up here at the top, which is really the middle. And that is going to be $1 whole. And I think we might have enough for the 50. I think we might be just there. So 20, 30, 45, 7, 9. Yep. So 49 plus 1 is 50. So we'll take out the 50. I'll put all this other business back. Okay, so now I just need to get the 20 out again and a 5, and we will be good. But let's see where we go next. Okay, number 10 again, and number 6. So that's going to be a D12 roll. So I'm going to mark it over here. And I'm really hoping for a high number with this. I want a high number because we've been getting such low numbers on everything. 12, perfect. All right, so 10 and 12. So now we'll bring back the D6 with the D12, and we'll see where we go next. Okay, number 7 and number 3. So that's going to be another D12 roll on Libra. So we'll mark it down here. And we'll roll the D12, and we'll see what we save. And it looks like that's going to be $9. Okay, so I'm going to put the 2 back, take out a 10 and a 1, and I've got $4 more to save. So if we could get a 4, that would be great, but let's see what happens. Okay, we've got number 9 and number 4, so that's going to be a scratch on Sagittarius, and there's 5 left to roll, so we'll roll the D6, and we'll scratch where it tells us to. Number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So down at the bottom. Come on, 4. And we got an 8. Okay, that's okay. So we're a little bit over with this challenge as well. But like I say, I don't mind. So 5, 7, and 8. So let's consolidate here. Put the book away. Like I say, I will come back later and fill in those icons for the roll and save. So we can take the 20 out with these 2 10s. 75, $79. Okay. So $79 will be going in. And get out the book again. And we'll put that in the Zodiac challenge. And like I say, for right now, I'm just going to stuff it in here. And I will come back and do a consolidation at the end of the video. But now I need to set up for doing the rest of the book. So we had 79 and 86. So we've already stuffed 165. So I'm 15 over where I'd like to be, or where I budgeted to be for those 2 books. So I'm going to take that 15 out of the 100 that I normally put in the big book. So I'll set this up for $85. We'll come back with the other book, and we'll go through some of the other savings challenges. So let me do that, and I'll be back in 2 shakes. Okay, the first game that I always do in the book is Millennial Loteria. The first time I played this, it seemed to be really popular, so now I make sure I include it every week. If you've never played Loteria before, it is a Spanish-themed version of bingo, and instead of 5 across and 5 down, you have 4 across and 4 down, and 4 diagonally, of course. And instead of using bingo balls, you use these pictogram cards that you shuffle and then deal. So ordinarily you would play this with several different people, but I'm just playing it by myself as a savings challenge game. And the way that I do that is I keep dealing cards and matching symbols until I get a Loteria, or 4 in a row. And then for every chip that I have on the board, I save $1. And because it's Millennial Loteria, these little chips are actually the Bitcoin symbol. I don't know if you can see that. And then all of these other symbols here are millennial themed. So it's a really irreverent look at my generation. So I'm going to shuffle up these cards and then we'll get to dealing and we'll see how fast we can get a Loteria. So I'm just giving them a quick shuffle here. I think 2 should do it. Then a cut. All right, so we're going to start dealing. So the first card is El Healing Crystal, and I don't have that. Obviously, there's more cards than there are spaces on the board, so it's not going to be a match every time. Less Student Debt, don't have that. Less Bitcoins, don't have that. El Piercing, we do have that. That's up here in the corner. Less Succulent, yep, sure do. Should have that down here on the bottom. Okay. El Nail Art, yep, right here. La Hashtag, we have that. Oops, El Gentrification. Don't think that's one that's on here. Nope. El Juice Cleanse, yep, that's right here. Okay. La Border Wall, nope, not on this card. El Sushi, nope. El Bad Hombre, yep, we've got that. She's right here. So El Tattoo will give us a Loteria. El Gluten, don't see that. El Makeup Tutorial, nope. El Vegan, yep, we've got that. So now El Coachella or El Boomer will give us a Loteria. El DJ, got him. So this is going to be an expensive game. I've got lots of different possibilities here. And there's El Coachella. So we've got a Loteria here. So we were going to save $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 for this game. So I'm going to set the cards aside. We'll clear off the board. I will get out the binder here. And my Loteria envelope is number 1. So 5, 7, 9. Going in. Okay. I'm going to clean this up and then I'll get back to the book here in just a sec. All right, we're back in the book. And so the next one that I absolutely want to make sure that I do is my 2025 challenge. This is a freebie that I gave out, or give out, I guess, because I still have some of them left, with physical products orders in my Etsy shop. Again, currently my Etsy shop is on hiatus, but it will be back here in another week or 2 once I get settled into my new place. So what I'm going to do is take out a board here, and I am just going to fill in this $20 here with the blue pen. There it is. So the idea of this challenge is pretty straightforward, is that if you save $20 25 times, which is what we have here, there's 20 symbols, then you will save $500. So I did this kind of as a New Year's thing for 2025, but of course you can do it anytime. And I am just being really sloppy here with how I'm coloring this in. I think usually I don't do it to this level of detail. I usually just make a mark, but for whatever reason, I've decided that it's important to get this colored in all the way here, so now I'm committed and I'm just going to finish it. Okay, that looks sufficiently terrible. So, well, maybe not quite. Okay, so that's done. And while that kind of dries here, I will take out the $20 bill and I will put it into the 2025 envelope, which is number 2. We'll dry it off here. Put the challenge back in. And then the next one that I absolutely must do is Junior's Restaurants. So this came from April and Junior over at April's Fresh Start. They just launched this here this last week in their Etsy shop. This is one that Junior has created, and when he makes a sale from it, he gets all the proceeds. So his mom pays for the Etsy fees and everything else, and it's a really great way to help a youngster save. So I keep this in a separate binder, and I am going to get that out here. And I usually like to put about $10 into this challenge each week. It is low numbers, so it's easy to do, and it's a lot of fun. This is my first time doing a box challenge, so I was a little uncertain if I was doing it right to begin with, and to be honest, I'm still a little uncertain. I realized once I saw some other people playing it that I had indeed made a mistake already, And I thought, oh dear. But, you know, I figure as long as the money is going towards savings, that's what really counts. And always good to help out a youngster. So definitely go over and check out their channel if you haven't already. So I've mixed those up. So now I'm going to pick one out here. Let's see. I didn't laminate these because, well, I don't have a laminator. But so I'm just kind of going at, okay, Junior's Donuts. I think that's one of the games that's in here. So let's see. So we've got Junior's Steakhouse, Junior's Donuts. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. So it looks like this is a roll and save. And I am going to say, oh, and we've got to assign values to all of these. So I'm going to say, let's see. That is going to be a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Okay, so we'll do it like that, and we'll see how we go. So I'm going to roll a D, let's see. Why don't I roll a D8? Just because I want to be different, right? So, and we've got a 2. So 1 and 2. Okay, so we're saving $2. And I am just going to check it off. And of course, I didn't take out a marker to do that. I'm not going to use a Sharpie on this because it will bleed right through, but let's see. I think I was using teal last time, so let me get out the teal marker. So we're just going to check that off. Okay. We're going to save $2. This is going to go back into its envelope here. And because this is one that we want to do multiple times, that Junior's Donuts card is going to go back into the shuffle. Okay. So we'll just stick this randomly in here. And we'll shuffle them up again. And let's see, let's pick from the bottom this time. Let's pick like right about here. Okay, so this is a search and save, and it looks like it's a piece of sushi. So let's see if we can find it. So it's not at the steakhouse. It's not at the fruit stand. Is it at the diner? Nope, not there. There it is. It's at the hibachi, where it belongs. Okay, so in this case, because this is a one and done, I'm going to circle it here, and I'm going to check it off here. And I'm going to put the 2 back and take out a 5. I'm going to set this aside so that it goes into essentially the discard pile, the ones that I've already done. I'm going to put this back in here, and we will search for another card, or get out another card. So I'm going to shuffle them up one more time, just so that it's, I don't know, somehow more honest this way. Let's see, let's go right here. Okay, so now we're going to look for bacon. And if it were my guess, this would be at the diner. So let's go back to the diner and see if it's there. It sure is. Okay, so bacon, we'll circle that, we'll check it off here. We'll take out $2. This will go to the discards, and we'll probably do one more. Unless it's really low, then we'll do 2. So we'll put Junior's Diner back. Okay, we'll shuffle these up. It's amazing how much thinner the stack already is, but I'm getting a lot of the search and saves, so they're coming out early. So let's see what's right here on top. Okay, so this is going to be a search and save for a cup of coffee, and it is in the diner. So the diner's getting a lot of business. We've already found the eggs, the bagel, the bacon, and now the coffee. So we'll circle that here. We'll check it off here. We'll put that 2 back and the 5. We'll take out a 10, which puts me exactly where I'd like to be. That's saving $10. So that's going to go into the discards. We'll put this one back in the envelope. The discards I keep in the back, so we'll stick these in there. And we will take the rest of the unplayed cards and we'll put them in the front. We'll zip this up, close this binder, and we'll go back to the main binder and put the $10 into Junior's Restaurants. And I know that April and Junior don't like to count how much they save along the way, but I will condense it. So this is going to go to number 3. Okay. So I'm going to set that in there, and then I will break the video here. I think we're going to play Sorry Dice next. I think that's where the clip was. Yep, sure is. So I will get that set up, and I'll be right back. This is Sorry Dice, and this game is available commercially. You can get it at probably Target, Walmart, any of those kinds of stores. I bought this at a game store, and it comes with, little game boards and things like that. It's a whole game unto itself, but I've just adapted it to be a savings challenge game. So it comes with these 3 dice, and on the dice are the different colored tokens. So there's green, there's blue, there's red, there's yellow, there's a multicolor, and then some of them have sorry or slide on them. And so I've adapted this to where I'm saving $1 per token that's left at the end of the game, and I'm doing it with 3 rolls. So if I get a rainbow one, I get to remove one of each color. If I get a color, then I just get to remove one of whatever color it is. If I get a sorry, then I have to take one back from the discard. And if I get a slide, that cancels another dice. So, for instance, if I get, let's say I get this one, and I get this one, and then I get the slide, that's going to cancel out that die. So it'll make sense as I play. So I'm going to give the dice a roll, and I'm not going to use the tray. I'm just going to roll them here on the mat. Okay, so I got 2 greens and a blue. So those come out. That was roll number 1. Roll number 2. Okay, I got sorry, so one of these is going back. I'm going to put a green back, but I get to take 2 reds. Okay, and here's roll number 3. Oh, perfect. So I got 2 reds and then 1 of each. So I don't have another red to take, but I can take a yellow, I can take a green, and I can take a blue. So that leaves me with $2, $4, $5, $6, $7 left to save. So I'm going to shift these over to the side here. I'm going to get the binder out. I will grab, well, let me flip over to the envelope here. We'll grab $7, take the clip off, and we'll put that in here. Okay, so that's it for Sorry Dice. I am going to set these aside, put them away, and then we'll go on to the scratch challenges. All right, so now we're on to the scratch challenges, and the first one is going to be the 12 Days of Christmas. This is one that I designed. It's normally available in my Etsy shop when my shop is open, and again, it should be reopened by the middle of March. And so this is a series of 12 different scratch-off savings challenges, one for each of the 12 Days of Christmas, according to the popular song. These were postage stamps released by Christmas Island, which is in the the Indian Ocean, back in the 1970s. So I've just adapted these into different savings challenges. So the number of scratches correspond to the day of Christmas that it is. So 1 on the first day, 12 on the 12th day. So I'm going to set these down, and I will get a D12 to tell us which day we are going to do. Number 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we haven't done any on this one yet. So let's see. I don't have a D4, but I've got a D8. So why don't we just use that here? That'll make it even or fair. And it says number 8. So that's going to be down here at the bottom. So let's scratch and save whatever it says. Okay, so for the calling birds, we're going to save $6. And I'll get out the vacuum here as I knock everything on my desk onto the side, but that's okay. All right, so $6, and I think I'm going to go one more time, because why not? We'll just live a little. So let's see. Move all of the things that fell over off to, hopefully they'll stay up. And we'll bring back that D12. And it says to go to number 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7. And the other thing about this challenge is that the backside is all placeholders. So the whole challenge will save you $500. And once you're done with it, if you decide you don't want to use it again, you can always use it as placeholders. So it's got that in there as well. And there are various amounts starting at 25 and going all the way up to 500. So number 7 is pristine. We haven't scratched any on this either. So I'm going to bring that D8 back. And let's see what it says. It says to scratch number 1. Okay, so right here, this one will save us $5. Okay, that's a good amount. So clean this up. I'm going to put the 5 back and take a 10. Oops, just the 5 for just a 10. Put these away. And then that $11 will go into the envelope way back here. The next one we're going to do is the 12 face cards. And this one, and both of these challenges come with a dashboard too. I don't know if I mentioned that. So that's the dashboard for the 12 days. This is the dashboard for the 12 face cards. So in a standard deck of playing cards, all of the face cards represent a different person, either someone from the Bible or from ancient Greece or medieval times. It varies. So each card describes who that person is said to be, and then on the back side is their story. They are numbered, so you can use a d12 die if you want to decide which one you are going to scratch to save, and each card has 12 different scratches on it. But I am going to use a deck of cards since it is modeled after a deck of cards, and the way that I do this is I just shuffle and cut, and then I keep dealing until I find a face card. And then I usually do use a die to tell me which number to scratch or which spot to scratch. So we'll give these a quick shuffle here and a cut, and we'll start dealing. So right off the bat, we've got the King of Spades, and he is going to be number 3 because they go in order by bridge suit. So spades are the highest, and we haven't scratched one on the King of Spades yet. This is King David, the shepherd, and so on the story, or on the back is the story about King David. So we'll get out a d12 and we'll roll, and it says to scratch number 12. So that's going to be right here at the bottom right. And for this one, we are going to save $11 again. Okay, and I'm just going to stop there. I will take out 2 5s and a 1. So we're already getting down to the nitty-gritty, but that's okay. I don't mind at all. So this $11 is going into number 12. Okay. All right, and the next game that I'm going to play, going back to the front, it will come up with Dicetropolis, which is a series of D6 dice savings games that I compiled. And so I am going to get the Dicetropolis game out, and I'm going to play Dropout. This is one, if you follow Snowgardener307, she started playing this recently on her channel. Dropout is my absolute favorite of all the Dicetropolis games, and because I don't have all that much money left, that's what I am going to finish with for this week. So let me set this aside, I'll get out Dropout, and then we'll start rolling some dice and saving some more money. Okay, so I've set aside Dropout here, but when you buy Dicetropolis, it's available as a digital download or a physical item. When you order the physical item, you get these glossy coated A5 sized cards that are double-sided. So there's 12 games in total. It comes with the dashboard, which is also the first game called Boston, so that I keep in the binder. But these will work well with either a wet erase or a dry erase marker. So like if we were playing this game and we were, just marking numbers here, you can just wipe your finger across them. This is dry erase, and it goes away. So you get to use them over and over and over and over again. If you buy the digital download, then you either would need to laminate them or keep printing them out to reuse them. But at any rate, I'm going to set these aside, and we are going to play Dropout. So as I said, Dropout is my favorite of all the Dicetropolis games. In this game, you roll 5 different d6 dice. So I've got 5 here. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I'm going to swap these out after this week with either the green dice or the blue dice, just because I think these numbers are a little bit hard to read on camera. I can read them fine, but I'm looking right at them. So at any rate, you roll 5d6 dice, and anytime you roll a 2 or a 5, you drop those out and you score a 0 for that roll. So it looks intimidating at first. You think you're going to have to save a whole bunch of money, but chances are most of these rolls you're going to get either a 2 or a 5, and that means the whole roll counts as 0. And you keep going until either all of your dice have dropped out or until you get to the 5th roll. And then you total up all of the rolls that have a score and you save that amount. So it'll make more sense as we get to playing here. So I don't know how many games I'm going to play. It really depends on what comes up, but I'm just going to keep rolling until the money's gone. So here we go. First roll, and we've got a 5, and we've got another 5. So that roll counts as a 0. And I've already lost 2 dice, okay? So roll number 2, and I've got a 2 and a 5, so another 0, and I'm already down to my last die. Okay, so here we go. So we've got a 3, and it is possible to score a 0 in this game. And if I do that, I just play another game. And we've got a 1. That's a funky looking 3 there. Let me rewrite that. There we go. And last roll, and we got a 2, so that's going to be a 0. Okay, so the total here is 4. So that's what we're going to save for this game. So $4, and I've still got money left here. I've got about, I don't know, $10 or so in ones. So I'm going to start a new game. All 5 dice are back in play. And we've got a 2. So the first, I'm just going to leave this uncapped. So the first is a 0. Roll them again. And we've got a 2. So that's a 0. And it doesn't matter what the other dice say, as long as it's not a 2 or a 5. But if you roll 1, 2, or a 5, if you roll any 2s or 5s, I should say, then the whole roll counts as a 0. Okay, so we've got a 2 and a 5, so that's a 0. So we're back in the same position we were in last time. We're down to our last die. And we got a 5. So that game is a 0. And that's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll roll them all again. And we've got a 2 and a 5. As I was saying to Marlene, most of the times my first roll is a 0. Just because you've got 5 dice, and the chances are one of those is going to be either a 2 or a 5. So, okay, so here we don't have any, so we got 11 on this roll. So that was a good roll. Roll them again. And it also means that this is going to be the last game for sure. So 6, 10, or 6, 4, and 3 is 13. Now the numbers are getting high, and I will tell you what I do, or I'll show you what I do when I get to the end of this game. Okay, and there we've got a 2. So that's a 0. Last roll. And another 2, so that's a 0. So this one's, we ended up with 24. So you could save $24 if that's within your budget. It's not within mine, and I don't want to take that much out of the keep. So I am going to add, so I'm going to add the 11 and the 13 to get the 24, and then I'm going to add the 2 and the 4 to get 6. So that's what I'm going to save. Okay, so let's take out $6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I've got $2 left. But I always say, as long as I've got $1, I will keep going. So, I don't always say that, but I'm saying it now. All right, so start up a new game. And we've got a 5 and a 5, so that's a 0. So as you can see, my first roll every single game has been a 0. And that is not uncommon at all. Roll number 2. Okay, we've got a 2, so that's a 0. We're down to 2 dice already. Roll number 3, 9. And I really hope I get another scoring roll. 4 and a 3, 7, 16. Oh dear. Okay, last roll. And we got a 2, so that's going to be a 0. Okay, so this is going to save 16. Because I've only got $2 left, I'm going to add the 1 and the 6, and I'm going to save 7. So 9 plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. Which means I have to take out $5 more, which is fine. I will grab that right over here. And that means that when I go to make my transfer into my emergency fund, instead of sending $250, I'm sending $255. And that is A-okay. So I'm going to put these dice away, and I'm going to clean off the card. I just do it with my finger. If I were a fancier person, then maybe I would get a cloth, but my finger works just as well, especially with these pens. They don't leave much of a residue behind. So these are, I don't know, Volcanics. There we go. Volcanics dry erase markers. Probably available on Amazon. I bought them quite a while ago, so I don't know that I have the link anymore, but certainly should be easy enough to find. Okay, so that 5 plus these $2, so that makes the total for Dicetropolis. Let's see here. How much was it? Oh, goodness, all these ones. So 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, $17. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put all this aside. Oops. We'll get out the binder. Dicetropolis is number 4. So we'll set all this in here. I will put the marker on number 5, which is left, center, right. So next time for game night, this is what we'll be starting with after we do the books, and then the 2025 and juniors restaurants will come back and start here. And so for those of you who are ready to click off, I do want to thank you for joining me. For those of you who want to see a cash condensing or a play money condensing, because I don't do this in real cash, I transfer from my savings account to my high yield, but I use the prop money to track how each game is doing. So I will come back and condense this, but if you're leaving, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe if you're new, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. I do game night every Monday, and on Fridays or Saturdays, I do a budget update. So again, thank you for joining. And for those of you who are staying for the cash condensing, I will be right back, and we'll do that next. All right, so now it's time to condense this binder. Every week it gets thicker and thicker at the end, so this one still closes, but it's getting chunky, so let's see how much we can condense here. So we're going to start with Zodiac, and in here I've got a 500 placeholder, and then 50, 100, 10, let's see, do it this way, 20, 30, 5, 37, 39, 41, 43. So instead of all this business, I'm going to take, so it's 43 total, so there's 22, 42, 43, and then all of this can go back. And these two 50s can go back for a 100. And I'm just going to use the paper notes this time instead of the nice placeholders that I made that are in my Etsy shop, just because I don't want to dig them out. Once I get done once I finish filming this video, I am going to pack up all of my budgeting stuff to prepare it for the move. So now we're in General Greenback, which also has a 500 placeholder. So let's see what else we've got here. So there's another 100. And then we've got 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so let's do this. So 50. Let's see. Yeah. 50, 100. This is messy, but this is honestly, this is the 4th video that I filmed in the last 24 hours, so things are not quite as smooth as they normally are. So there's 100, and let's see what else we've got here. Okay, 50, 60, 70. So 2 5s and a 10 for a 20, and then $4. So I'll put these 2 back and take out another 2. All right. So 674 in General Greenback. Okay. Millennial Loteria is next. And in here we have 50, 60, 5, 72. Okay, so I'm going to take the 10, the 5, the 2s, and the 1s, and we'll take out a 20. 10, 5, 2 2s, and 1 1 for 20. So still $72. I don't think there's much we can do in here, but let's see. Yeah, 140, which is right because I've colored in 7 spots, so. Then in Junior's Restaurants, we have, well, I can probably get a 20. Yep. Almost $50 in here already, so that's great, because I haven't been doing this for that long. So $47 in Junior's Restaurants. Then in Dicetropolis, we have all those ones that I put in. All right, so 50, 70, 5. Let's see, 80. So I'm just going to grab out, this is not maybe the most efficient way to do it, but it's what's going to make the most sense for me given how many ones we have. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, of course. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will grab a 5 and a 2 for that. So we have 50, 70, 85, 89 in Dicetropolis, or Dicetropolis, or Dicetropolis, depending on how you say it. We didn't play this one. We didn't play these scratchers. We didn't play Flip 7, nor did we play Quicks, nor did we play Yahtzee, but we did play the Sorry Dice. So let's see what they've got in them. Or I guess if you're Canadian, it would be Sorry Dice. Nothing we can consolidate here. It's got 38 bucks. So that will just go back inside. "12 Days of Christmas" has 50, 64. So a little bit. Take out a 2. And really the reason why, or the reason that this binder gets so thick is because I stickered all of these prop bills so that I could handle them easier. So it gets pretty thick right around the middle, as do we all. Or at least I do. All right, so here in the 12 face cards, we've got 75, 84. Okay, so we're going to take these 2 5s back and grab a 10. And then these 2 1s and grab a 2. So I don't know how much thinner we really made it this week, but any condensing is good condensing, I think. Especially when it comes to challenges like this, where they're all long-term and they're all going toward my emergency fund. Because once that emergency fund is fully funded, I will reset the binder for a lot of these challenges, not for the books, but for all the games. I will take those out and then kind of start those over as I transition from one goal to the next. So after the emergency fund is fully funded, the blip fund is the next priority, then the Roth IRA. So that is how things are going. If you are interested in seeing how I'm doing with my savings, I cover that every Friday or Saturday, depending on when I get the video done, in my weekly budget updates. And I talk about my savings goals and my progress toward them, and my full budget picture with my income, my expenses, and all of that. So if that strikes your fancy, please do come back and join me on usually Friday morning or Saturday morning, depending on when it gets posted. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below, and until I see you in the next one, take care.